Students, welcome to the online classes of chemistry. So today we will discuss the important reactions of phenols. So the first important reaction is Kolbe's reaction. So Kolbe's reaction. So what is Kolbe's reaction? So here in Kolbe's reaction, when phenol is treated with sodium hydroxide followed by carbon dioxide, it gives salicylic acid. It gives salicylic acid. Look here student, it is very important one. Phenol is treated with sodium hydroxide, it forms sodium phenate and followed by this carbon dioxide, and after acidification it gives salicylic acid. It is also called as 2-hydroxybenzoic acid. It is also called as 2-hydroxybenzoic acid. So here it is the first reaction here. Look here, when phenol is treated with sodium hydroxide followed by carbon dioxide and then acidification, it gives salicylic acid. And here student, this salicylic acid is also called as 2-hydroxybenzoic acid. Look here, I will write the reaction. So when phenol is treated with sodium hydroxide, it forms sodium phenoxide, sodium phenate, ONA. So here ONA minus H2O, H2O is removed, and this sodium phenate, when it is treated with carbon dioxide and on acidification, it gives salicylic acid. OH, COOH, it is called as salicylic acid. Or it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or it is also called as 2-hydroxybenzoic acid. 2-hydroxybenzoic acid. Look here students, it is the reaction here and it carries 3 marks. Explain Kolbe's reaction with an example. So write Kolbe's reaction. Phenol is treated with sodium hydroxide, forms sodium phenate, and when it is treated with carbon dioxide. So when it is treated with carbon dioxide, actually the product forms like this, that is OCOONA. Look here students, carbon dioxide, OCOONA, and then the rearrangement takes place here, and then here it forms OH, COONA, and then after acidification, NaCl goes out, and then here it forms OH and COH. It is the reaction method. So here it forms OCONA, and then here it rearrangement takes place here, and it forms sodium salicylate, and this sodium salicylate and acidification gives salicylic acid. It is the reaction mechanism here, but you have to write this much only. So this is called as a Kolbe's reaction. Then the next one is Riemann-Tammann reaction. Riemann-Tammann reaction. Look here students, when phenol is treated with chloroform and sodium hydroxide, so it forms salicylaldehyde. So look here when it is treated with this Riemann-Tammann reaction, when phenol is treated with chloroform in presence of sodium hydroxide, it forms salicylaldehyde. 2-hydroxybenzaldehyde or 2-hydroxybenzene carbaldehyde. So here it is also, it also carries 3 marks question. Look here, when phenol is treated with chloroform CHCl3 in presence of NaOH, in presence of NaOH, followed by acidification gives salsaldehyde, and this salsaldehyde is also called as 2-hydroxybenzaldehyde or 2-hydroxybenzene carbaldehyde. Look here students, here I will write this reaction. So when phenol is treated with chloroform CHCl3 and then NaOH, it forms a transition compound. So here it forms ONA CHCl2, it is a transition state, unstable state, and then here it forms ONA CHO. So here HCl is removed, so that is here actual, that is here 2 NaOH and here minus 2 NaCl. So it is removed, OH is added here, and then here this acidification. So acidification, it gives OHCHO. This is called as salsaldehyde. Look here students, it carries 3 marks. What is Raman-Tammann reaction? Or indirectly they may ask, how do you convert phenol to salsaldehyde? Or Kolbe's reaction, how do you convert phenol to salicylic acid? Or they give the product phenol NaOH and then CO2 and H2O. So identify the product A. Like this they ask the question. So here it is the method. It carries 3 marks, Now let us see the next one, reaction of phenol with zinc dust. Reaction of phenol with zinc dust. Look here students. Third one, it is also called as reduction of phenol to benzene. When phenol is heated with zinc dust. So student, dust means it is powder. When phenol is heated with zinc dust, benzene is formed. So here it undergoes a reduction. So here benzene is formed. Look here, when phenol treated with zinc dust, it forms ZNO plus it gives benzene. So reduction of phenol to benzene. Or you may write this reaction like this: C6H5OH phenol plus zinc dust, and here it forms ZNO plus it gives C6H6. C6H5, it is H, C6H6 and zinc oxide. So it carries 2 marks. How do you convert phenol to benzene? So, or what happens when phenol is treated with zinc dust? Then fourth one, oxidation of phenol. oxidation of phenol. Look here students, when phenol is treated with a mixture of potassium dichromate and sulfuric acid, it liberates chromic oxide, and then chromic oxide oxidizes phenol to benzoquinone. Phenol to benzoquinone. Look here, when phenol is heated with a mixture of phenol is heated with a mixture of K2Cr2O7 plus H2SO4, that is it gives chromic acid, it oxidizes to benzoquinone. So here it also carries 2 marks and 1 mark. Look here students, it is phenol. When it is heated in presence of K2Cr2O7 and H2SO4, it undergoes oxidation, that is look here, 1 H is removed here, 1 H is removed here, and it forms H2O plus it forms it is called benzoquinone, or it is also called as diketone. It is also called as diketone. And remember students, these quinones are not aromatic hydrocarbons. Note, these quinones are not aromatic compounds, These are the unsaturated, or these are the alpha beta unsaturated acids or unsaturated ketones. Quinones are not aromatic compounds. These are alpha beta unsaturated ketones. Look here, it is the note. These are alpha beta unsaturated ketones. So here it is a phenol is reduced to zinc, and here phenol is oxidized to benzoquinone. So student, here these are the important reactions of this phenol, and here they may ask 1 mark and 2 marks. What happens when phenol is treated with a mixture of K2Cr2O7 or H2SO4, or they may ask for chromic acid, or how do you convert phenol to benzoquinone? Or they may write the reaction and they may miss this product and write the product A. It is for 1 mark question. So student, here I have completed all the chemical properties of phenol. And now here in phenol and alcohol, we have to learn some important compounds of alcohols. So some important compounds of alcohol. In some important compounds of alcohol, there is a very commercially very important one. So let us see the commercial important alcohols. So there are 2 commercially important alcohols, that is, one is ethanol and another one is methanol. These 2 are commercially very important one. Look here students. Commercially important alcohols. There are 2 types. Number 1, methanol. It is also called as methyl alcohol, its formula is CH3OH. Look here students, this methanol is also called as wood spirit because it is obtained by the destructive distillation of wood. So methanol is also called as wood spirit because it is obtained by the destructive distillation of wood. It is obtained by the destructive distillation of wood. So then how it is manufactured? The previously, that is, ancient people prepare this methanol by using this wood. When wood is subjected for destructive distillation, it gives a methyl alcohol. So but here how it can be prepared or manufactured? So manufacture of methanol. Manufacture of methanol. Look here students, when a mixture of carbon monoxide and hydrogen, you know it, a mixture of carbon monoxide and hydrogen is called as water gas. And when this mixture of carbon monoxide and hydrogen is heated to high temperature at about 573 to 673 Kelvin at about 300 atmospheric pressure, in presence of zinc oxide and chromic oxide catalyst, it forms methanol. So it is the industrial production also. So here when a mixture of carbon monoxide, and hydrogen, it is called as CO plus H2, it is called as water gas. When a mixture of carbon monoxide and hydrogen are heated at about 573 to 673 Kelvin and 300 atmospheric pressure, in presence of zinc oxide and chromic oxide catalyst, it gives methanol, that is also called as methyl alcohol. So catalyst, it gives methanol. Look here students, I will write reaction, CO plus 2H2. So here 573 to 673 Kelvin in presence of zinc oxide and Cr2O3 and about 320 or 300 to 320 atmospheric pressure. So it forms CH3OH. Methanol is formed, CH3OH. So it carries 2 mass. How methanol is manufactured? From water gas. Or what happens when water gas is treated with zinc oxide and chromic oxide catalyst at high temperature? So here methanol is formed. So student, here it is methanol. And what are the properties of methanol? So here remember properties of methanol. So what are the important properties of methanol? Number one, so methanol is a colorless volatile liquid. It is a colorless volatile liquid. And second one, it boils at 337 Kelvin. It boils at 337 Kelvin. Look here students, it is very important one. And the third one, it is poisonous It is highly poisonous if ingestion of methanol causes, so ingestion of methanol causes, if the methanol is taken inside the stomach, so if ingestion of methanol causes blindness or sometime death also causes death, or it is also called as fatal. It also causes fatal death. And then student, it is also used as a fourth one. It is used as a solvent for paints and varnishes. Paints and varnishes. And then fifth one, it is used in the preparation of formaldehyde. It is used in the preparation of formaldehyde. And the next one, it is used in the denaturation of ethanol. Look here students. And the last one, it is used as an antifreeze in automobile radiators. Look here students. So here it is the properties of methanol. Methanol is a colorless volatile liquid. It boils at 337 Kelvin. It is poisonous. If ingestion of methanol causes blindness or sometime death or fatal. It is also called as death or fatal, FATAL, death or fatal. And then it is used as a solvent for paints and varnishes. It is used in the preparation of formaldehyde. It is used in the denaturation of ethanol. It is used as an antifreeze in automobile radiators. So it is about this methanol. And another commercially important compound, that is called as ethanol. Let us see about ethanol. So student, ethanol, it is also called as ethyl alcohol. It is obtained by the fermentation of molasses. Look here. Second one, ethanol or ethyl alcohol. Its formula is C2H5OH. C2H5OH. And ethanol obtained commercially by fermentation of molasses. By fermentation of molasses. by fermentation of molasses. So you are very familiar with this molasses because here in our area sugarcane is more and we are manufacturing that is in much quantity of jaggery. So then you will get molasses there. So what is molasses? So look here students, molasses is the mother liquor which is left over after crystallizing out all crystallizable sugar from sugarcane juice. It is a dark colored syrupy liquid. It contains almost sucrose and this molasses is diluted with water up to 10% and to this dilute sulfuric acid is added to bring down its pH value 4 to 5 and which is favorable for the growth of yeast. And now little ammonium sulfate and ammonium phosphate is added which acts as food for yeast. And now yeast is added and the temperature is maintained at about 30 to 35 degrees centigrade for about 72 hours. And then the enzyme invertase which is present in the yeast, it catalyzes the hydrolysis of sucrose into glucose and fructose. And after that another enzyme, zymase, it decomposes the glucose and fructose into ethyl alcohol. And then student, this ethyl alcohol is called as wash or wort. This ethyl alcohol is called as wash or wort. It contains only 6 to 10% alcohol and it is subjected for fractional distillation. And then you will get 95.5% alcohol plus 4.5% water. And this mixture is called as rectified spirit. And then this rectified spirit is again, that is by rectified spirit we can obtain absolute alcohol also. So look here, this rectified spirit is treated with quicklime and then it is distilled with calcium metal. So you will get absolute alcohol and absolute alcohol means 100% alcohol. So student, it is about molasses. So here what I will write here, molasses is the mother liquor which is left over after crystallizing out. Molasses is the mother liquor which is left over after crystallizing out sugar from sugarcane juice. Look here, molasses is the mother liquor which is left over after crystallizing out sugar from sugarcane juice. It is a dark colored syrupy liquid. It is a dark colored syrupy liquid. Dark colored syrupy liquid. It contains maximum amount of sucrose. So it is molasses. So which is molasses is the mother liquor which is left over after crystallizing out all crystallizable sugar from sugarcane juice. And then it is a dark colored syrupy liquid. It contains maximum amount of sucrose. Look here students. Now here molasses is diluted with water. Molasses is diluted with water. It is diluted with water and acidified by using sulfuric acid, by using H2SO4, dilute H2SO4, by using dilute H2SO4 to bring down its pH value 4 to 5, which is favorable for the growth of yeast, which is favorable favorable for the growth of yeast, which is favorable for the growth of yeast. Look here students, now little ammonium sulfate and ammonium phosphate is added. Ammonium phosphate is added, which act as food for yeast, which act as food for yeast, which act as food for yeast. Now yeast is added. Yeast is added. It is allowed to stand. It is allowed to stand for 72 hours. For 72 hours at about 30 to 35 degrees centigrade. Over. It is a fermentation, it is an anaerobic reaction, and here the next one, that is this, the enzyme invertase, which is present in the yeast. The enzyme invertase catalyzes the hydrolysis of sucrose into glucose and fructose. Then the enzyme zymes decomposes the glucose and fructose into ethanol. Look here students, it is about molasses is the mother liquor which is left over after crystallizing out all crystallizable sugar from sugarcane juice. So after crystallizing out sugar from sugarcane juice, it is dark colored syrupy liquid. It contains maximum amount of sucrose. Molasses is diluted with water and acidified by using H2SO4 to bring down its pH value 4 to 5, which is favorable for the growth of yeast. Now the little ammonium sulfate and ammonium phosphate is added, which act as a food for yeast. Now yeast is added. It is allowed to stand for 72 hours at about 30 to 35 degrees centigrade. The enzyme invertase so catalyzes the hydrolysis of sucrose into glucose and fructose, and the enzyme zymase decomposes the glucose and fructose into ethanol. So here, look here, I will write the reaction. Number 1, C12 S22 O11 plus H2O in presence of invertase. It gives C6H12O6 plus C6H12O6. That is, one is glucose and another one is fructose. And then student, after this, the second reaction is C6H12O6. It decomposes in presence of enzyme called as zymase. So it forms 2C2H5OH plus 2C2H5OH plus 2CO2. Carbon dioxide is liberated. Carbon dioxide is liberated because it is a fermentation reaction, anaerobic reaction. And here the ethyl alcohol which is obtained here, it is only about 10%. And it is also called as wash or wort. Look here, wash or wort, W-O-R-T. So it is about molasses. Now it is only 10% student, and here it is subjected for fractional distillation. Look here, I will show here. It is subjected for fractional distillation. I think it is clear to you all. I think it is clear to you all. It is about molasses. Then here the ethanol which is obtained here, it is only 6 to 10 percentage, and this ethanol is subjected for fractional distillation. And by fractional distillation you will get about only 95.5% alcohol. That is also called as rectified spirit. Look here. Ethanol obtained, it contains only 10%. It is called as wash or what? Look here, it is subjected for fractional distillation to get 95.5% ethanol plus 4.5% water. It is called rectified spirit. It is called rectified spirit. What is rectified spirit? Rectified spirit is a mixture of 95.5% alcohol plus 4.5% water. In some book it is given 95 to 96. And then this rectified spirit is, it is mixed with quicklime and distilled with calcium metal, to get 100% alcohol, that is 99 to 100% alcohol, called absolute alcohol. Look here students, what is absolute alcohol? So it is about molasses. And then there is another second method is there. So nowadays it is very familiar, because in making wine we are using grapes. So in making wine we are using grapes. So look here students, here the grapes are the best source of sucrose and yeast. So sucrose and yeast. So here the grapes, the skin of the grape contains yeast, and the inside of the grape it contains lots of sugar. And when the grapes are ripened, so therefore the sugar which is present inside the grape, the quantity increases and the yeast grows. And these ripened grapes are when crushed, so the yeast comes in contact with the sugar and then it undergoes fermentation. And so it forms again this, the enzymes present in the yeast, it catalyzes the sucrose into again that is ethyl alcohol. So it is used in making wine. Look here. Second one, in making wines, grapes are used. So look here students, in making wine grapes are used because these are the source of sugar and yeast. It is the source of sugar and yeast. So here remember, as the grapes are ripen, then the quantity of sugar in grapes increases and the yeast which is present on the skin of the grape. So yeast is which is present on the skin of the grape. So yeast grows. Look here, when these grapes are crushed, the sugar and yeast comes in contact and the fermentation reaction takes place. Again it gives alcohol. Look here students. So here in making wines, grapes are used because these are the source of sugar and yeast. As the grapes are ripened, then the quantity of sugar in grapes increases and the yeast grows, means which is present on the skin of the grape. When these grapes are crushed, so the yeast comes in contact with the sugar and the fermentation reaction takes place and it forms alcohol. Again same reaction takes place. So these two are the methods where that is the alcohols are obtained or manufactured in a large quantity. So then student here, let us see. So what are the important properties of these alcohol? Look here. Note number 1, 95.5% ethanol plus 4.5% water is called rectified spirit. It is one more question. What is rectified spirit? Second one, 100% alcohol is called absolute alcohol. What is absolute alcohol? Then the third one, what is power alcohol? It is the mixture of 80% petrol plus 20% ethanol and traces of benzene is called power alcohol, which is used as motor fuel. It is used as a motor fuel. It is very costly, but it causes very less pollution. It is very important one. In foreign countries, this type of petrol power alcohol is used because it causes very less amount of pollution as compared to this petrol as usual we are using. So it is about power alcohol. And then students, here ethanol is used as the commercial alcohol is used, or commercial alcohol is made unfit for drinking purpose. So it is called as denatured alcohol. What is a denatured alcohol? The commercial alcohol made unfit for drinking purpose the commercial alcohol is made unfit for drinking purpose by adding 5% methanol, 0.5% methanol, 0.5% pyridine. So it gives foul smell, pyridine, and little copper sulfate gives color. So the commercial alcohol is made unfit for drinking purpose by adding 5% methanol, 0.5% pyridine, it gives foul smell, and little copper sulfate gives color to the ethyl alcohol. Is called denatured alcohol. Then fifth one, it boils at 78 degrees centigrade. Sixth one, it is also used as a good solvent for many organic reactions. And even it is used in making paints, varnishes, etc. So student, it is about important note of alcohol. So remember, denatured alcohol, last 2 years back this question was asked, what is denatured alcohol? So here denatured alcohol means the commercial alcohol which is made unfit for drinking purpose by adding or by mixing it with made unfit for drinking purpose by adding or mixing 5% methanol, 0.5% pyridine and little copper sulfate. It gives color to the ethyl alcohol, is called denatured alcohol. So here this alcohols and phenols are completed, and students, here the next one, last, that is unit is ethers. So I have that is ethers. So what are ethers? Look here students. What are ethers? Ethers are the alkoxy derivatives or aryl oxy derivatives of hydrocarbons, where the hydrogen atom of hydrocarbon are replaced by alkoxy or aryl oxy compounds or aryl oxy groups, and these are denoted or represented by the general formula ROR. Look here. Ethers are the alkoxy or aryl oxy derivatives of hydrocarbons, where the hydrogen of hydrocarbons are replaced by alkoxy or aryl oxy groups. These are represented by the general formula ROR. R dash. Look here, RO R dash, where R and R dash may be alkyl or aryl groups, where R and R dash may be alkyl or aryl groups. So these are called as ethers, student. Here how the ethers are classified. So look here, students, here classification of ethers. How these ethers are classified? So ethers are classified into two types. Ethers are classified into two types. One is simple ethers or symmetrical ethers. Look here, what are simple ethers and symmetrical ethers? And here simpler ethers, the ethers in which the oxygen is bonded. Look here, the oxygen is bonded here. Ethers in which the oxygen atom is bonded, the oxygen atom is bonded with two identical alkyl or aryl groups. Alkyl or aryl groups. Look here, students, alkyl or aryl groups. So simple ethers, the ethers in which the oxygen atom is bonded with two identical alkyl or aryl groups. Here two identical alkyl or aryl groups. And here I will write example CH3O CH3. Look here, oxygen is bonded with two identical. It is called as dimethyl ether. Dimethyl ether. And then I will write another example C2H5O C2H5 diethyl ether. Diethyl ether. I will write third example. So C6H5O C6H5. So diphenyl ether. Diphenyl ether. So here it is the classification. And another one, second one, so it is mixed ethers. Mixed ethers or unsymmetrical ethers. Ethers. Look here. The ethers in which the oxygen atom is bonded with two different alkyl or aryl groups. Alkyl or aryl groups. Look here, student. CH3O C2H5. It is called as ethyl methyl ether. And then second one I will write CH3O. Second one I will write CH3O C6H5. It is called as methyl phenyl ether. Look here, students. Here a different, that is oxygen atom is bonded with two different alkyl group, and here two different, that is alkyl or aryl groups. So it is about classification. So in our next period we will discuss about the nomenclature and the ether functional group, nature of ether functional group and its preparation. So thank you.